All right, Harry. The other day on our video, we were talking about the difference between passing tests, right, from God and so forth. But someone asked us a question on our video. It said, "How would you know if the test is from God or Satan?" Can you explain that maybe a bit better?
Yeah, well, normally we do have tests and trials, and are they from God or Satan? What do you think normally?
Yeah, they can be from both, right? They definitely
Yeah.
can be from both.
So does it matter who it's from?
At first, when we were talking about this, I said it does matter, but when we really think about it, it really doesn't. The whole aspect of it is to pass the test and be faithful to God.
Yeah, because it really doesn't matter who it comes from in a sense. See, when the biggest trial that we know of in the Bible was the story of Job. And so when he lost everything and then he lost his health. So, of course, he couldn't get everything back, but his health was a real big problem. Did he ask God to have his health restored?
I don't believe he did in the book, did he?
No, like not that we read, no. And but did God restore his health?
Yeah, he actually even not in the health aspect, but he double folded everything for him.
Yeah, yeah, and he didn't ask for any of
Mhm.
it, as far as I know. That book was written 3,500 years ago, likely given to Moses, in my opinion. Of course, I have no proof of that, but it was a book about faithfulness. It's a book that only God could have spoken, as you might say, because the details in it, man could not have known all the details about all that. So, anyways, regardless, God wanted to make sure that we had that book. Paul also, the Apostle Paul, had a thorn in the flesh, and he asked to have it removed. What was God's response?
Yeah, he said, I like this verse. It's really, he says, the only time Jesus brings up the word grace in the whole New Testament, Jesus speaking, right? He says, "For my grace is sufficient for you."
Yeah, yeah. So, what was Paul's response to that?
He was content. He didn't say anything.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's right. So, okay, that's
And
fair.
that's where we should be, right? Like in our
Yeah,
walk, where it's like, oh,
yeah,
all right, I'm
yeah.
good with that. Because all the goal should always be God and to know God more. And whatever God has for us, that's what where we want to be.
Acts 27 is the story about Paul traveling to Rome on a ship. And that ship got into a horrible storm, not the first ship, but the second one. So it was in a storm in the Mediterranean for 14 days. What did Paul pray for?
He didn't pray. When we
No.
first were talking about this, you had me thinking. I was like, and then we're like, oh yeah, he didn't pray at all,
Well,
actually.
he likely prayed, but his prayer would be for the people,
Mm.
not the storm. The storm was the issue. That was God's project. But the people, and what happened? What did God give him?
They all were safe. They all landed.
Yeah. He had a visit from an angel on the ship, and the angel said that all the 276 lives on the ship would be saved. It's amazing that the angel even found the ship, you know.
Oh, come on.
No, not really, but it was the storm in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, and but again, Paul was granted the privilege of having all those people physically saved, and I believe many of them would be spiritual saved also. So then we have temptations. Let's go with that for a minute. Are they from God or from Satan?
Temptations will be from Satan. We know that God
Yeah.
can't tempt.
No, that's right. So, but trials, tests, temptations, all the T's, they are all part of our life. And I believe that the number one rule for a Christian in all those situations is that we want to please our master. That's the number one key, that we really want to pass the test. And in the end, what we really want to hear at the end of our life is, well done, thou good and faithful servant. And that is really the ultimate goal, I believe. And then how will that happen? Number one, talk to God. Number two, read the word, and then put on your shoes and do something. And when you do fail, make sure you fail forward. It's really important that when we fail, that we're
And
still
what you mean by that is get up, admit you're wrong, and then go forward. Because a
yeah,
lot of us we like to dwell in that, right? And at the
yeah.
bottom, like, oh, this and that, and then you're just digging yourself the bigger and bigger and bigger hole. It's like you start filling that hole back in by continuing forward.
Yeah, and you just learn from it, like Peter when he denied Jesus. man, did he move. And Jesus said, I prayed for you so that when you do be
Recover, yeah.
restored, yeah, that you will strengthen your brothers. So
Amen.
he knew he was going to fail, but when you recover, I want you to strengthen your brothers. How could he do that? He was stronger now because he had failed forward. And that is really, not that we want, but we have to want to please our master. We have to want to pass the test. If we don't put all our effort there, then nothing good will happen. But we have to hate sin, and we have to love the Lord and want to please our master, and test, trials, temptations. They're all part of the journey, and yeah, that's how we
Bro,
that's yeah, that's how we go. And through that we become stronger and clearer, and we love the Lord, and we hate sin and move forward.
amen. Thanks a lot for that, Harry.
Thank you.